Hello, dear friends, and welcome back to Voice of Wisdom. Did you know that many older parents end up regretting how much they give after retirement? What often starts with the best intentions, supporting adult children to stand on their own, helping out of love, or simply following family traditions, can slowly wear you down. The hard truth is, after retirement, your energy, finances, and independence aren't as easy to rebuild as they once were. Giving away parts of your life, even with the best motives, can quietly unravel the peace you've worked so hard to create over the years. In today's video, we'll explore 7 important things you should avoid handing over to your children once you retire. It's not because you don't care, it's because the price you pay in terms of your health, independence, and future well-being is simply too great. Most importantly, protecting these boundaries isn't selfish. It's a sign of wisdom. Stick around until the end, because understanding these 7 points could be the difference between a retirement filled with quiet frustration and one full of freedom, dignity, and meaningful connection. If you've ever wondered where the line is between helping and losing yourself, this video is made for you. Let's get started. Number 1. Control over your financial decisions. One of the most critical and often overlooked things to protect in retirement is control over your money. Many older adults unknowingly give up this control by signing over financial authority to help a child manage bills, handle online accounts, or just take care of things. What starts as a gesture of trust can slowly turn into a shift in power, and once that control slips away, it can be incredibly hard to regain. This isn't about mistrust, it's about protection. Your financial choices determine where you live, the care you receive, and how you spend your final years. Handing over full control, even to someone you love deeply, is like giving away the steering wheel to your life. That imbalance can lead to misunderstandings, tension, or, in worst cases, financial abuse. I recall a man named Gerald, 77, who gave his son access to his accounts simply because he didn't want to deal with online banking. At first, it worked fine, but over time, his son began making purchases without asking. Small at first, then more significant. "I felt like a guest in my own finances," Gerald said. When he finally brought it up, his son replied, "I thought you didn't care." That response hurt even more. The truth is, your money represents more than dollars. It's your effort, your boundaries, and your independence. You have every right to stay in control, even if you ask for help with the occasional task. There's a big difference between someone assisting you and someone taking over. If you do need support, set firm boundaries, use joint accounts sparingly, keep records, understand what's being done and why. And if something doesn't feel right, trust your instincts and speak up. After all the years you spent earning, saving, and managing your finances, no one, not even your children, should decide what you do with your money. That decision is yours. And holding on to it is one of the most important ways to protect your future. Number 2. Your home or property before it's necessary. Transferring your home or other property to your child before it's absolutely necessary may seem like a generous gesture, but it can be one of the riskiest choices an older adult makes. You might think they'll get it eventually, or this will make things easier now. But what often happens is that you unknowingly give away the very thing that gives you security and control. Your home isn't just a place to live, it's your anchor. It's where you decide who visits, when you rest, how you live, and when you leave. When you transfer legal ownership, whether to avoid taxes, simplify inheritance, or help your child financially, you may also surrender those rights. And depending on your state's laws, reclaiming them may be impossible. I once spoke with a woman named Dorothy, 81, who signed over her house to her son after retiring. He told her it would protect the home from future medical costs. But 2 years later, he went through a divorce and her house became entangled in a legal battle. "It didn't even feel like mine anymore," she said. "I just wanted peace, and I lost my peace trying to do the right thing. Even when relationships are strong, life is unpredictable. Children can lose jobs, face financial trouble, or go through major life changes. And if your property is in their name, their problems can quickly become yours. Again, this isn't about mistrust. It's about planning ahead. Keep your name on the deed. Consult with a legal expert who specializes in elder law. Look into living trusts or shared agreements that allow for planning without giving up ownership. Don't feel pressured to hand over your home just because someone says it's time. You spent your life building a safe place for yourself. Keeping it in your name doesn't make you ungrateful or selfish. It makes you responsible for your safety, your stability, and the independence you've earned. If you found value in this video so far, comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos. Your support allows us to keep creating content that empowers and informs. Let's keep going. Number 3, unlimited access to your time and energy. After retirement, your time becomes one of your most precious resources. And yet, many older parents find themselves giving it away without limits, offering rides, running errands, babysitting, or always being on call for their adult children. What starts as love and support slowly turns into obligation, and before long, your days no longer feel like your own. There's nothing wrong with helping. The problem is when that help becomes expected rather than appreciated, when your availability becomes assumed, when your rest and rhythm are regularly disrupted because saying no feels like a betrayal. That's when the balance shifts and resentment quietly moves in. I remember a woman named Joyce, 76, who loved her daughter dearly and wanted to help with the grandkids. But as the months passed, she was picking them up from school 4 days a week, missing her book club, skipping her own doctor appointments, and falling asleep before dinner out of pure exhaustion. I retired to enjoy my life, she said, not to relive the same schedule I had at 40. Your energy after 70 is different. It needs protecting. You deserve rest, space, and time to do the things that nourish you without guilt. And while your children may genuinely need help, that doesn't mean your time is a bottomless well. Clear boundaries are not a rejection of family. They're an act of self-respect. It's okay to say, I can help on Tuesdays, but I need the rest of the week for myself. It's okay to reschedule. It's okay to protect your mornings, your quiet afternoons, or your weekend plans. You are not selfish for guarding your time. You are wise for recognizing that you have just as much right to it as anyone else. Because the truth is, when you constantly give your energy away, there's less left for the things that bring you joy, peace, and purpose. And retirement isn't just about filling other people's needs. It's about finally having the freedom to honor your own. Number 4, the role of emotional counselor or fixer. One of the hardest patterns to break as a parent is the instinct to solve your children's emotional problems. Even when they're grown, you've spent a lifetime being their anchor, their listener, their shoulder to cry on. But in retirement, constantly absorbing their stress, fear, or disappointment can quietly wear you down. As you age, your emotional reserves become more precious, and when your adult children bring you every crisis, relationship troubles, work drama, financial panic, you may find yourself taking on weight that's no longer yours to carry. It's not that you don't care, it's that your nervous system wasn't built to be a 24/7 therapist. I once met a man named Howard, 78, whose son called almost daily to vent about his failing business. Howard listened, advised, even lent money. But over time, he began losing sleep, feeling helpless, and walking around with a knot in his chest. I started feeling like I was the one drowning, he said, and I wasn't even in the water. That's what can happen when you become your child's emotional emergency room. You absorb every alarm, every fear, every frustration, without having a place to put your own. And the more you take in, the more depleted you become. You are allowed to listen without solving. You are allowed to say, "That sounds hard. I hope you find a way through it." You are allowed to suggest therapy, support groups, or other resources that don't involve your constant emotional labour. Because in this season of life, your peace isn't a luxury, it's your medicine. And protecting it doesn't mean closing your heart. It means keeping your heart whole so you can offer love without losing yourself. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, direct responsibility for raising grandchildren. Many older adults step into the role of caretaker for their grandchildren with love and willingness. But taking on full or near full responsibility for raising them, especially in your retirement years, can quickly become more than your body, mind, or finances were meant to carry. What often begins as just helping out becomes an unspoken expectation, and suddenly your retirement is no longer your own. Caring for young children is physically demanding. It affects your sleep, your diet, your stress levels, and your ability to keep medical appointments or tend to your own needs. And emotionally, it can feel like being pulled back into a life stage you already lived once. What you need now is rest, stability, and time to reflect and enjoy. I remember a woman named Linda, 73, who agreed to watch her toddler grandson just for the summer. But the months turned into years, and she found herself once again packing lunches, managing tantrums, and walking the floor at night when he had a cold. "I love him with all my heart," she said, "but I'm tired. I didn't realize how much I'd lose." The guilt is real, the love is real, but so is the cost. Raising children is a full-time job, and unless you've truly planned for it and chosen it freely, it can quietly erase your space to grieve, to travel, to rest, or even just to think your own thoughts. If your child is in a situation where they need support, explore other solutions first. Can help be shared among family? Can outside childcare be involved, even part-time? Can you offer specific hours or days rather than being on call indefinitely? Boundaries are not rejection, they're clarity. You've spent decades caring for others, and while grandchildren are a deep joy, you are not required to start all over again in your 70s and 80s. It's okay to say, "I'll love them, guide them, and support where I can, but I cannot raise them." That truth may be hard, but it may also be the healthiest decision for everyone involved. Number 6, your retirement savings or emergency funds. One of the most generous and most dangerous things you can give your child after retirement is access to the money you've spent your whole life building. Whether it's dipping into your retirement savings to pay off their debt, covering their mortgage just for a while, or handing over cash during one of their emergencies, the effect is the same. You chip away at the very foundation meant to protect you. It's natural to want to help. It feels like love. It feels like support. But here's the part no one talks about. Once that money leaves your account, it rarely comes back. And if your health declines, your expenses rise, or something unexpected happens, the financial cushion you thought would be there may be gone. That's not just risky, that's dangerous. I once spoke with a man named Henry, 80, who loaned his son nearly $30,000 over 5 years. It wasn't all at once, just small amounts here and there. First for car repairs, then credit card bills, then a business idea. "I thought I was helping," Henry said, "but I was emptying the tank I was supposed to retire on." And it's not just the money. It's the emotional toll of wondering whether you'll have enough for your future. The silent anxiety that creeps in every time you visit the pharmacy, the doctor, or open a bill. That stress alone can affect your sleep, your mood, and your quality of life. You are not a bad parent for saying, "I need to protect my savings." You are not being selfish by drawing a firm line between generosity and self-preservation. Your children can rebuild their finances, but you may not have the same time, energy, or health to rebuild yours. If you truly want to support them, set clear boundaries. Define how much you can give and stick to it. Offer guidance before offering money. Encourage them to consider loans, payment plans, or other support systems. And remember, protecting your financial independence isn't just about your own well-being. It's also about sparing your children from the burden of supporting you later, something many quietly worry about. If you're still with us and finding these insights meaningful, comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us keep producing thoughtful content designed to inform and empower. Let's move on. Number 7, decision-making power over your life plans. As you transition into retirement, your priorities shift. You deserve the space to make choices that reflect who you are now, not who others expect you to be. Yet one of the quietest ways older adults lose control is by allowing their adult children to start making decisions for them instead of with them. This usually doesn't happen all at once. It often starts with well-meaning suggestions. Why don't you move closer to us? You really shouldn't be driving anymore. Maybe it's time to downsize. These ideas may be rooted in care, but when repeated without genuinely listening to your feelings, they can start to feel like commands rather than support. I recall a woman named Elaine, 79, who moved across the country to be near her daughter's family. On paper, it sounded ideal. Closer to grandkids, simpler lifestyle, more help. But within 6 months, she felt deeply out of place. It wasn't my town, my church, my doctor, or my friends, she said. I thought I was choosing connection, but I lost my place. You don't need to fit someone else's vision of life to make your own valid. You are still in charge of your story. And while your children's concerns may come from love, that doesn't give them the right to dictate your choices, whether about where you live, how you spend your time, or what your next chapter looks like. This isn't to say you shouldn't consider their input. Listening is wise, especially when it comes to matters of health and safety. But ultimately, decisions like housing, care preferences, or independence should reflect your values. Retirement isn't the end of your authority. It's your opportunity to reclaim it, to make intentional choices that honor your present while preparing for the future. Because once you let someone else take the wheel, it becomes harder to steer your life back on course. So protect your right to decide, speak with confidence, put plans in writing, ask questions, and never hesitate to say, I appreciate your concern, but I know what's best for me. That one sentence can safeguard not just your autonomy, but your dignity. Closing thoughts from Voice of Wisdom. Retirement marks a special, well-deserved phase in life, one that's meant to reflect your own choices and priorities. Yet many older adults, driven by love or duty, often give away the very essentials that safeguard their peace, time, finances, homes, and personal limits. Although this giving is heartfelt, the emotional and mental strain can be significant. If this video sparked reflection, hold on to this truth. It's possible to love your children while maintaining your identity. You can establish boundaries without feeling guilty. And you have every right to protect the life you've worked so hard to build, guided by wisdom, not fear. The 7 insights shared here aren't about pulling back your support. They're about offering it in ways that sustain your well-being. They invite you to craft a retirement where your needs are honored, your voice matters, and your golden years unfold with clarity, confidence, and compassion. Pause for a moment and consider, which of these areas resonates with you most? Have you unknowingly let go of any? Which ones will you stand firm on from today forward? Thank you for spending time with us at Voice of Wisdom. We invite you to comment below with what resonated most and how you plan to bring these lessons into your life. Your encouragement fuels our passion to create impactful content just for you. If this video helped you, please hit like, subscribe, and share. Your support truly means everything to us. Thanks for watching. We can't wait to see you in our next video.